Judy, did you see the announcement on our Twix page today or yesterday?
Where somebody said that you were Employee of the Month?
This guy, Employee of the Month. And guess what? To commemorate that, to make it official, we would just like to everyone watching on TikTok and Twitter at TABPOD. Ta-da!
Look,
That's
I don't know
so
who
bold.
decided that because we didn't take a vote on who was going to be Employee of the Month.
Decided!
I saw that and I go, when did we decide this?
Look, I've been putting in a lot of hard work lately, a lot of extra overtime. I think the higher ups are just trying to, give me an attaboy. Be like, Ryan, you've done such an amazing job here at Take a Breath Productions. Just keep up the great work. Just keep being you. Keep up the great work. Numbers are up. Interaction is up. Judy is there, but we look, keep it going. This, by the way, none of this was actually said. This is just how I interpret them giving me the Employee of the Month. So
you were like a exceeds expectations. You're not a meets expectations, like what I got at my current job. So yeah.
Wait, is that going to affect your promotion?
No, it's what they put on everybody's evaluation.
Oh, okay. I was worried for a second. Oh,
yeah.
Welcome to a conversation with Judy and Ryan right here on YouTube at TABPOD. Also check us out on TikTok and at Twix where it says that I'm Employee of the Month. Very, very happy about the other way, Judy. Other way.
I don't know. It's whatever way, honestly.
I appreciate you trying.
I just start pointing and hopefully somewhere it'll get there.
I appreciate you trying so much. Oh my God. I needed to laugh. Honestly, the last week has been like good, but very hectic. Mm-hmm. We went to Universal over the weekend. Oh,
you did.
Oh,
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Mwah. I love that place.
I haven't been in a long time.
So I've never been. Never once.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I got to pop my cherry at Universal. Nice. And I'm not going to go get it because I know how you feel about when I get up and go get stuff. So I'm not going to get it. But I got to go and get my wand at Ollivander's at the Harry Potter stuff. Mm-hmm. Went to Nintendo World. That place is so awesome.
Oh my God, I forgot that opened.
Yeah. Ooh. It was so much fun. You get to actually be in like a Mario Kart, and they have like a VR or an AR game. AR, VR, I'm not sure. It's AR because you're just putting lids on. I'm getting way too technical right now. I apologize, people. Nerd alert. But yeah, you get to go in an actual Mario Kart type thing. They have little puzzles so that you can unlock other parts of the Super Nintendo world. They are way more strict in Nintendo Land and have way more helpers, security than any other part of Universal. And by way more, I mean like per square foot, it's like a 3-to-1 ratio minimum.
Wow. Okay.
Right? I family vacation. I was puffing on my vape the entire weekend copiously, just every chance I got. Tried to be respectful about it. I would be walking. I would go right up in the air, right? So that it doesn't bother anyone, straight up.
Okay.
I did mess up one time. I was on an escalator. And I blew it out on the escalator, but I thought that it would like go out and up. It didn't. It just like stayed and sank somehow. So So like the people behind me got it on accident. So that was the one time on me. Sorry that I didn't mean to. It was a vape. It smelled like peaches. No one was really affected probably. Anyway, but
Probably.
but all weekend I'm at Universal and I'm just puffing away, no problem. As soon as I go into Nintendo World and I hit one time, I got to. You're not allowed to do that, sir.
Sir.
Whoa. Actually, he called me man, and I always get thrown off when someone calls me man if I don't know them specifically, because in my head it starts off as ma'am with the hair and everything. I was like, yo, you're talking to? Oh, man. Oh, that's what you said. Okay, you said man, and I am a man. Okay. But no, and it wasn't anything big. It was just like, you're not allowed to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. I put it away. I just knew go through the big Mario tunnel and exit into regular Universal before you need to take any more medicine. Got it. Okay.
Guess you weren't the weed ninja in Nintendo World.
Dude, I'm telling you though, like it's a 3-to-1 ratio per square foot. There's so many more people in Nintendo World than there are in the rest of the park. It's amazing.
Now it's all included, right? In the park, in like the park admissions for Universal. You don't have to pay like separately to get into Nintendo World.
So you don't have to pay separately to get into Nintendo World, but here's where they get you. They have the fucking power bands. And so now there's stuff on an app that like for every coin you collect or whatever, you unlock a sticker or something like that, right? But in order to really experience everything, you have to have this band, especially it's the only way you can collect these keys so that you can go into a separate castle type thing. So you have to buy the bands, and the bands are, and all they are Nintendo. I would grab it, but like I said, I know how you feel. I think I'm not off camera. I'm not technically off camera. I got it. So, see, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's cute, right? But it's just a band, and it just has a RFID chip in it, so that it's you scan it on stuff and it knows that it's yours. How much would you say that this slap bracelet with a QR code scanner costs?
$85.
Wow. Okay. I don't want you working at Universal because this was $42.99, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you say okay, but then you get 3 of them, and that's not even a full family. I'm at a $1.25. So, and meanwhile, you're over here like $85 done.
Hey man, I don't know. I got a story. I got a story to tell you. And that's I'm like,
Fair, you did tell me a little bit about the story.
I don't know.
So that's understandable.
Still $43 for
right.
Like that's basically your souvenir. Like, did your son get anything else?
So
that's a souvenir right there.
He got a couple things, like day one was really great. We went down on a Friday. We went on a Thursday, and so we spent our entire first day, Friday, there. There's barely any lines, barely, not really many people. It was perfect. I didn't know how good we had it, honestly, because I've never been there. I'm not a big theme park guy. I do like going to like not Universal, Six Flags from time to time, but I didn't know. So day one, we did pretty much the entire park, did everything except collect the keys in Nintendo Land. Even did the Super Mario Kart ride and everything. Day two comes along, and it is a madhouse.
Okay.
There were so many more people, and all of them went straight to Nintendo Land.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I didn't realize because they had all these areas in Nintendo Land that were roped off, right? I'm probably saying it wrong. It's probably like Super Nintendo World. So it's Super Nintendo World for anyone, because I bet you at some point, look, we got 38 subscribers now on YouTube. We're making moves, okay? Come be an eavesdropper. YouTube at takeabreathpod. But I guarantee you, if this gets picked up in any way, shape, or form, it's just gonna be like, it's Super Mario, it's Super Nintendo World, idiot, you stupid. Oh, you were there, you know the name.
Yeah, exactly, just like that.
Oh, so wait. What was it? Oh yeah. So there are all these roped off areas. I almost lost it. I found it though. There are all these roped off areas, and I didn't realize that those were the lanes to go do the stuff for the keys. At the time that I was looking at them, they also had signs that would say like Princess Peach coming out at 3 p.m. Luigi and Mario at 2:30, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought that these were just the sections that those people were going to be sitting at when they finally came out. Then I show up the next day and there's a billion people. And now I see, all those lanes with the ropes that were empty, everyone's lined up in them now because that's how you get the keys. So like I said, day one was good. We got to do all the rides. By the way, Universal was trying to fat shame me the entire weekend, and I don't appreciate it.
What?
Okay? It was trying to fat shame me all weekend. So the first ride that I got on,
yes,
it will come down and then it'll lock on your shoulders, right? Like a lot of old school roller coasters.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to, in order for it to be safe, it had to click 3 times. But it got on my chest and it didn't want to move on a second click. So I had to get up and get off and try and get back on again. That time I did not get back on the ride because Asher was freaking out a little bit. We took care of it. He was like, not in a bad way. He was just scared because it was a dark kind of ride. But so honestly, in this one, because the only time I got kicked off a ride all weekend, so I honestly think that it was just kind of like meant to be karma type shit. Because if I had been locked in, he would have been locked in and he would have been freaking out the whole time. And we're like, stop the ride. My baby is scared. Stop the ride. And then like, ugh. And then everyone has to get off. It's a whole thing.
Right.
But every time I got on a ride, they have these measures of if it's come in far enough for you to be able to go on the ride. And every time it was they defined it by green if you're good or red if you're not good. And it would always be a sliver of green. Just a tiny little, you see? This is too much green that you're seeing on my camera. It was like every time. There you go. There. The sliverest of green.
Yeah.
But I got to ride those rides. So
all that matters.
the one Minions ride, I hated it. It was because a lot of them are, I say rides, but they're not really rides in which you're riding anything.
They're like those 4D type that moves, but then you're watching a screen.
Yeah, speaking of 4D, Universal really likes to come all over your face every chance they get. It's just spritzing and spraying and splashing your face.
From what I remember when I last went, yes.
Oh, if they could have a raptor spitting water on you or a wizard blowing water on you or whatever. I was in a Fast and Furious ride and I got sprayed in the face somehow. It's like, Dom, put it away. Family, we get it. Sorry. I'm going. So, day one was good. Got through everything. Day two sucked, though, because for whatever reason, Asher wanted to just, be a little... I'm trying not to be vulgar about my kid. He just was not real good or listening or anything the second day. And all of us tried to deal with him because it was his birthday present, it was his vacation. But finally, like by the end of the day, we all were just like, we're kind of done. And you've been a dickhead all day.
Yeah.
So we're not coming back anytime soon. Okay. You did this. I really like it here. I don't care. You should have thought about that before day 2. Okay.
Wow.
So also Los Angeles, because I live in Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. It's very flat here. It's extremely flat here.
Yeah.
We walked to Universal from the hotel both days. Day 1 for me was rough because I didn't know how far it was. So like you're walking up this hill and it's like, are we gonna make it? Are we? Right? And then I get there and then you gotta go upstairs and then over a bridge and I'm like, oh my God. And then on top of that, you know how many steps I walked over this 2-day trip? Over 30,
per day,
30,000.
20, 30, yep.
Oh. On top of hills, okay? On top of having to do hills. So.
Oh, that's awesome, though. I'm glad that he got to experience that.
But thankfully, all in all, I would say that out of pocket, while we were there, I only spent like $500, maybe a little more, for everything. So, and I got myself a wand. I got the kid a wand. His is engraved.
Not bad, bougie.
Yeah, got some other trinkets. So, hey, I spent $150 on slap bracelets.
That's where a majority of your costs went towards.
Yeah. God.
Look, it's a lot better than I saw this lady on TikTok post about her vacation to Disney World with her 2 kids and her husband, so a family of 4. She broke down the entire cost of her trip, right? From the airfare, because they were flying in from Virginia, the hotel stay, the parks, the food, the drinks, the souvenirs, all of this, right? Guess how much a lady spent on this vacation for her family of 4 for, I think it's like a 4 or 5 day trip to Disney World. Guess how much ballpark that she spent?
I will say 4 people, 4 days. Disneyland or Disney World?
Disney World.
Disney World. They probably got them park hoppers with the Epcot shit. $6,000.
Close-ish. She spent $8,500 on this trip.
God, man. Parks are so expensive.
Yes. And so in the video, like at the end, after she counted her expenses, she says all of that to say that my daughter said, I thought Disney World was going to be cooler.
Kids are such dicks.
The biggest dick. You know how pissed I would be on the plane ride if my daughter told me, I thought that place was going to be cooler after just looking at how much I spent on this trip.
You know what? Honestly, I was going to leave it out, but you know what? I'm just going to tell you exactly why he was being pissy. It's because he was being pissy because we didn't get a chance to go to the Toadstool Cafe inside a Nintendo World, right? So here's how the reservations work at this specific place. You have to scan a QR code at the beginning of the day and then pick whatever selection is available, and that's when your reservation is. As soon as they fill up, that's it, right? Yeah. Now, the thing that we didn't think about before we had left is the fact that these theme parks give you early access. So we had regular tickets that let us in at 9. The early access would let you in at like 8:30, 8 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
So by the time we got there day 2, because we didn't know how it worked, everything was filled up. So we told them, like, okay, don't worry. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll come here first thing, and we'll try and get on it.
Yeah.
But since we didn't consider the early access passes, literally went there as soon as we walked in, tried to get on the guest list. It was booked for the entire day. Because like I told you, 1 billion people were there already.
Yeah.
So this little dude, instead of, and look, I understand he's 8. So, but at the same time, instead of being like, you know what, I get it. I didn't get to do this one thing that I was really looking forward to, but it's still a dope, like little mini vacation, amazing type birthday present. No, all he wanted to do was complain about how he didn't get to, and because he didn't get to do Toadstool Cafe,
his whole vacation.
Yeah, everything about the day was ruined, right?
Yeah.
And then even after all the times everyone around him was like, shut up about this, and you finally think that he has the message, when his mom calls, you know how he describes the fucking vacation?
How?
Well, there's this place called the Toadstool Cafe, and we didn't get to go to that, but we're going to try and go next time. Like, even his own mom had to be like, why don't you tell me about something that you did do?
Right. Damn kids.
God, fuck yeah. God damn it. They ruin stuff. People ruin going outside and kids ruin going to amusement parks, okay?
I can only imagine. My goodness, all those people. And then you have to like watch out for your son to make sure like he stays within like the area that he's supposed to be with. Like,
that's the other thing. He kept walking off. And look, I didn't get as mad. One time he walked way off, like went through ropes and everything. And I was like, you're lucky we're in California or I'd beat the fuck out of you right now. Oh, man.
The thoughts, opinions, and expressions of Clownboy Ryan in no way reflect those of Judy herself, the A Conversation with Judy and Ryan podcast, or parent company, Take a Breath Productions. All rights reserved. Copyright 2020.
I don't actually strike my child in any way, but I was getting close. But so that, like I said, he's 8. It's hyper overload on him. That I didn't care about as much except for the one time, but the ungratefulness of it. Oh man, this little girl is lucky that she's not my daughter.
Yeah, I'm like, I could only, oh my God, I can't imagine.
So grounded. So grounded.
Yeah, be like, that was the most unnecessary comment you could ever make. And I get it. They're kids. They don't know. But like, at the same time, and then I was thinking about it. I go, damn, I remember my parents, like when I first came to the US, because I was not born here. When I first came to the United States, my parents took us to Disneyland. And I still remember that, like, my parents saved like our tickets. The tickets were like $25 to get in. And this was like 1995. That is crazy. On like how much tickets have just risen from then to now. Like, wow.
Oh man.
So mind-boggling.
So that's it. Sorry that I'm not giving you as much back. And that's literally what I'm trying to find. I remember this is when it first opened, but in Orlando, the Star Wars like hotel experience, I want to say for like 2 days for 2 people, it was like $5,000 or something.
I remember. Yeah.
Oh, so I was trying to find that, but I mean, like, I don't even know if it's still open because it's not letting me find it.
That's not profitable, I don't think, for anybody.
That's why the CEO of Disney got fired. Okay. And they were like, yo, we need Iger back, please.
Jesus, God, nobody has that kind of money to spend. But we are looking into doing some kind of theme park, hopefully for spring break, but we just don't know what we want to do yet.
Just make sure that you go on a not saying that I think you need to, but go on a diet beforehand because you don't want to be fat shamed by the amusement park.
No, I don't. You know what? I've been like a little traumatized with some of these plus size women that on TikTok that I watch. And they're like, yeah, they make you like get off and like go try on these tester ride things and make sure you fit on there after you stood in line for all this time. Like,
dude, and while you're walking up for legality reasons, obviously, but they have these signs everywhere that are like, yo, you're going to be moving and jumping. And guess what? People of certain body types and sizes will not be allowed to ride. God. So the entire weekend, while I'm walking around from ride to ride, I'm like in my head the whole time, like, oh, is this the one? Okay. Am I going to have to get kicked off? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to do the thing where you're trying to lose weight in real time.
I know what you mean.
like it's hot outside. And instead of drinking all the water you have, you just take little sips.
Then we walk a couple more steps around you.
I'm gonna do some high knees in line.
Let me like adjust my bra so my boobs are kind of like a little flatter.
Oh, God, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was especially for the Mario Kart ride. I was like, I am not getting everything out of this one. Harry Potter, I'll deal with, but not the Mario Kart. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I wanted to bring this up since we were talking about theme parks anyway, because it's a shitty segue, but it still segues for me. Remember a Goofy movie?
A little bit.
Okay, remember that Powerline was the like the rock star of the movie, like the fictitious rock star of that world, but he was like the biggest rock star on the planet.
Okay, yeah.
So Hot Topic at one point sold a Powerline t-shirt. Okay. And I love that movie so much. I've probably watched it no less than 70, 80 times, which doesn't sound like a lot. You think of how many times you've actually watched a movie. These people who tell me, oh, I've watched it 400 times. No, you haven't, okay? You've barely watched it 100 times, if that. You've watched pieces and bits of it while it was on TV. That only equals once, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, so many people say, oh, it's not that many times. Shut up, it's enough. Anyway, I listen to the songs all the time, and while I was dating my now ex, who I believe we talked about on a previous podcast, not a conversation podcast, but a quarter life crisis podcast. We'll go deep for this one.
Yep.
So that girl took that shirt. Like, she took it home to, like, sleep.
Oh, wow.
And then, you know how that is. Like, you never get it back after the breakup.
Yeah. No.
But I was so damaged by her taking that shirt because I can't get another one. They stopped making them.
Damn.
I was so damaged by that when I found one on Etsy, like a custom one, and I paid $89.99 or whatever because it's Etsy and it's custom.
Right.
And when I received it, I told the EP, I was like, you're not allowed to wear this ever.
Oh my God.
And it's because, like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that she's going to take my shirt or anything, but now the paranoia has set in because I was damaged by that ex. So I wanted to know, Judy, have you ever been, like, unexpectedly damaged by an ex? Like, does anyone take one of your hoodies and you're just like, God damn it, I no one gets a hoodie now.
No, but then again, I was the hoodie thief. I don't know if I ever told you this. Look, I don't know if you ever told you this, but at one point in my dating life, I went through a phase that I was like, I'm gonna take something. I think I mentioned it. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on our previous podcast.
This does sound very familiar because Klepto Judy.
I just went through a phase. I'm like, bananas? All right. Take your fruits and juice.
Wow. So you were the damagee. Like, there's a guy out there now. Anytime he brings a chick over, he's like, "Hey, if you touch these fucking bananas, it's done. Okay, these are my bananas. Do not touch."
Or I mean, I've taken a lot of hoodies. That's definitely a thing. But those have all been.
I feel like the hoodie
donated.
thing. I feel like the hoodie thing is just like, that's collateral damage. Like, don't get me wrong, the shirt is collateral damage. I get that. The only reason it sucks is because they stopped making it, right?
Right.
If it was, if it was a regular hoodie, like a Nike, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like guys know that the hoodie is going to be collateral damage. Why do you think we don't be giving you the good one all the time? Be like, what the fuck is this Costco hoodie you got me in right now? Like, bitch, you know why. You know why you got that on, okay?
No, but it's funny.
I just got a whole closet full of Costco hoodies just for when bitches come over.
I feel like that's a part of a show that I've watched where it's like, it's like this is the only clothes you can see that's in my closet. All the good stuff are like in a different closet, right?
Or like, you know how people have those booties that you were like, they'll have a spot for you to put booties on when you walk into their house. Like, it's the same thing. It's a spot for you to go get your hoodie. It's just like, yo, pick your hoodie out. It's fun. They look like all the rest. So just, hurry up.
Or what was that? I don't know if it was a movie or a show where this guy, like, a girl slept over and, she was wearing his clothes for, like, to sleep. And before she left was like, yo, you gonna take that shirt off? Like, that's one of my favorite shirts. You gonna leave it here or what's happening? Like, you can't leave this house with that on.
No, it's
that should have been you.
It's called my life, okay? That's what happened to me. And I was like, yo, you give me that Powerline shirt back? Or is it, no, it's fine. I'll give it back. No, you won't. Give it back now. I know you're not giving it back.
What if she, like, donated it to a Goodwill and then you go to a Goodwill and you find that shirt? Oh, my God.
Then I'm more pissed because I had to pay for it twice, okay? Okay? Like, also, who knows, like, who knows who else had handled it at that point? Yeah, like, it's been through.
I don't know.
And look, she donated it, but who knows how many other bodies she caught during that time. And I'm not that's not me saying, like, in a shameful way, but she was sleeping around other dudes in my shirt. Like, my shirt's been tainted. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so even if I found it. The only thing I would do is I would burn the shirt so that I put it out of its misery, because it's just like, nah, at this point, nah. You just gotta put out its misery, okay?
No, listen. The only thing that, like, damaging my ex had ever done was it just made me really feel insecure, right? So back in the day, I don't know if any of our listeners remember this, but the old Instagram had a section where it had, like, your likes, right? And then on one tab, it had what your friends liked, right? All the pictures that your friends also liked. And I just remember all these fights that little tab caused with me and my ex, because he would be like, why are you liking this person's picture? And then I would be like, well, why are you liking this bitch's picture? Like, I don't know.
See, that.
God. And then Instagram took it away. And it stopped all the fights for people. But, like, y'all don't know. Back in, like, early 2010s, Instagram was messy.
It's still messy. It's just, like, it's messy in a different way now. Now people are like, why don't you ever post me on your actual timeline or whatever it's called? Why only post me in stories that are temporary? Ooh. Like, what the hell? Ooh, well, you got to hide. Mm-hmm. And you're just like... you asked me to put you in a fucking picture and I did it and I'm still in trouble. God damn it.
Is that coming from recent experiences, right?
No, but I was watching one of those TLC shows like 90 Day Fiance or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the arguments that they had. And the dead ass, that's what he said. He was like, I did what you want me to do. Like, it was obvious he was doing some dirt though, but Yeah. I'm not too proud to not steal from reality television when I think it's funny. Okay. I don't know whose show that you thought you were coming here for, but I will throw down on that anytime. Speaking of throwing down.
Oh.
Judy! It is time for Ryan Refutes. What are we refuting today?
On this week's episode of Ryan Refutes, I want Ryan to refute that actually going braless for women in public is not sexy. And it's maybe a little tacky, maybe a little trashy. I don't know, but we'll see what Ryan says.
See, this is a classic EP refutes. Okay, and I say that just because it sounds good when you put it on paper, right? It does sound good. But as soon as you go out into the real world, you don't want to see any titties, most titties without bras on. Okay? Not all of them girls can hold themselves up. Okay? Some of them, some be dragging a little bit. And then also, some women be getting extra back problems because they're so big and they gotta be like hunched over all the time. Okay? And what you're doing by making them stand back up straight without any extra support is that you're making gravity actually pull them down farther. And I am a champion of titties. Okay? I am. I don't want to see a titty ever get abused. I want them to be cradled. I want them to be coddled. I want them to be taken care of to the fullest extent. And then also, as far as why it's tacky, right? If a lady is in front of me and she doesn't have a bra on and she's looking at all of this and just getting excited by, you know, all the man meat that is in front of her and they pop out, how am I not supposed to stare at the erasers that are looking right at me? And now I'm a bad guy because I took a look, even though they're looking right back at me. Okay, but I'm the bad guy. No, it's much better for society that the ladies put them away, but not like away. No, don't put them away. Don't put them away. We're not refuting if we put them away, okay? It's fine.
He said, no, don't put them away, y'all.
What we do is we coddle them and we put them into a support and then show them off supported, okay? Just like every model that we have ever had, they all needed the support of a photographer. And so the bra is really the photographer of the boob because it sets you up in a position that you want it to be at its best attraction. It's brilliant. I just came up with this. The bra is the photographer of the boob. Oh, don't, no, it works perfect.
Okay.
Look, until this whole tangent with the photographer of the boob thing, I was really killing it. So we're just gonna forget about that. And we're just gonna say that I don't like it when nipples stare right back at me. And then from there, we're gonna go, refill me not, bitch!
It's funny that you say that you don't want nipples stare at your face because do you remember maybe a year or so ago, Kim Kardashian came out with like these, I don't know if it's like a special bra or something with her lingerie line, but it had like little nipples, like
actual nipples?
Like, so it looks like your nipples are hard underneath your shirt, so.
No.
Yeah, no. You know, and look, I told you, we've been watching Friends.
Was that a huge seller? Was that a huge seller? And that's why Kim was able to buy another beach house because all the nipple bras that she sold?
Probably.
What's going on with Friends? Who had hard nipples in Friends? By the way,
Jennifer Aniston.
You want to talk about
episode.
Oh, that's right. That I forgot that was like why she got so popular back in the day too.
I mean, she had no bra in almost every episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say like me and your husband, we watching all those episodes of American Gladiators, And a lot of bras were left on the floor. Okay, okay, a lot. It's cold in those warehouses. Okay. Oh man, at what point did it become like a rule in TV? Like we got to have all these bitches in bras. Like we cannot have a nipple staring at America. At what point did that become the law of television?
I have no idea.
Wasn't in the 90s.
No, all the nipples were out in the 90s. So, men and women.
How much farther along in Friends are you?
I'm barely like finishing up season 4. There's still 6 more to go.
Well, no, but that's from the last time we talked, you were like mid season 3. So,
yeah. I'm almost, Ross is now getting married to Emily.
Look, that was, okay. I didn't watch that like that. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were a frenzy person. Like,
no, like it was on, I'm old enough that it was on that when I was alive, it was just coming on. Right. But I never,
when I was alive.
Yeah. Like I'm old enough to have lived through it when it first came out.
But I mean, you're not like obsessed to like watch the actual series.
Oh, I guess I'll never get to talk about my obsession. No, it's funny. I think it's a perfect kind of show to watch when there's back in the day of regular television, like syndication television. I think it was a perfect kind of show because most of the episodes you didn't need to know the backstory of anyone, especially first 5 seasons or whatever. Didn't really need to know the backstories of anyone. Jump right in, you're good to go. Later on, obviously, when you have your longer stories where Chandler is now married to Monica or whatever, that's different. But I really do think it was just a really good show for that. So I've watched clips and stuff like that. But no, I don't know. Emily, the only person who I know that's not one of the actual friends is Janice. It's because the name Janice, like
Janice,
it's seared into my fucking brain.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. So that does it for the first half of the show. The gong told us that we have to finish. When we come back, I have a question for Judy's sex life, which we all know. Don't worry, Judy. It's there for you. It's ready. But I have a question for you on your sex life. We're also going to find out what life as a homeowner, what new challenges life as a homeowner has brought to Judy. And oh my God, what a weekend of sports. I'm so, hey, look at that. You guys are keeping McCarthy. I bet you're super happy about that. But we don't have time for you to talk about it. It's coming up next on A Conversation with Judy and Ryan. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, that was a sad woo, Judy. Sad Wudy.
And sad Wudy? Is that what you just said? Did you just call me sad Wudy?
Welcome back to A Conversation with Judy and Ryan on YouTube at takeabreathpod, or should I say A Conversation with Wudy and Ryan.
No, it's sad Wudy. Sad.
For anyone looking on anywhere that you can see us at takeabreathpod, you'll see. I said that Judy's woos at the end of the last segment were sad, so she was sad Wudy. And now she's sad Wudy. I'm still the employee of the month, though. I mean, that's not going to change when you have, look at this. So, in fact, you know what? Employee of the month, right there. That's my picture.
Perfect.
There we go. Audio listeners, you need to check us out on a video platform to see what's going on because things are getting wild. All right. Speaking of wild, Judy.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to follow that question up immediately with a story so you can understand what I'm saying.
Perfect.
Judy, what ailment would you put yourself through so that you could have sex. And what I mean by that, ailment can be if you're sick, you have a cough, you have a sore throat, you have a headache, you're in pain of some sort, you got a swollen ankle, like whatever what is the worst thing that you would put up with in order to have sex? And I say that because you would think that this story I'm about to tell would be about something that I did. Because I, as a man, am so virile. All the testosterone makes it so that I need to spread my seed at every constant notice.
Okay.
But in actuality, it was someone with an XX chromosome in my house that put up with an ailment. So I'm not going to paint all the details for you because there were some details. But suffice to say, mid-coitus, coitus an okay word? Can we say coitus?
I think we could say coitus.
Okay, mid-coitus, after the EP has fulfilled her most ecstasy moment, if you catch my drift, boys. She looked at me and she had this look of pain in her face, right? Like, I don't know if she meant to look the way she did, but like she did, it was like a look of, I'm so happy and I wish I had never been put in this position at the same time.
Yeah.
To which I said, are you okay? Like, is this like I'm not that big that it's like hurting you. Am I? Right? And she's like, well, I've just been dealing with some cervical pain all day.
Oh.
And I couldn't really put my hand on the button of what was going on. Until now, with having this member inside of me, because it feels like someone just like punched me in the cervix. To which I said, and you wanted to have sex still? Dead ass, she looked at me and she just goes, oh, does that mean we're done? Girl's a fiend, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, you get yours, girl. Yeah. Get yours.
But yeah, it was amazing. She was like so needing to get some that she was, look, if I had a pain in my dick, there's no way I'm having sex, okay? Most likely, it would be a crime in most states if I did have sex, okay? You're not supposed to spread that stuff without letting your partner know.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
but no, but no, a female has pain and it's fine to just do whatever with her body. See, we let you guys, this is why the Supreme Court took away that right, okay? They said, you don't know what to do with it. It's not yours anymore. No mas.
I feel like you got to play that disclaimer again just for that comment.
The thoughts, opinions, and expressions of Clownboy Ryan in no way reflect those of Judy herself, the A Conversation with Judy and Ryan podcast, or parent company, Take a Breath Productions. All rights reserved. Copyright 2020.
But honestly, think about it. All the chips stack up in the way that I'm talking about. Supreme Court makes a judgment, and then look what happens. Less than, what was it, a year ago to a year and a half? I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun. But whenever it happened, now look, we have someone actively abusing her body for sinful pleasure.
God. Anyway, so
Judy, I've brought all this up to ask you, like, yeah, so basically, because let's just be adults about this, okay? I asked you what you would put up with. But we as the audience, and you don't have to say it, but we as the audience all know that whatever you would put up with is something that you have put up with. So, Judy, what would you put up with?
I would say, similar, like cramps.
Hey! I gave you a thumbs up and paused me when I was winking.
Wow, maybe, who knows what. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I would say cramps, like terrible cramps, but you still got to get yours at that point.
Cramps?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like how, is there specific positions that you can't do if you have the cramps?
No, because it's kind of like, so they say if you have sex, the cramps, like sex alleviates cramps.
Yeah, but in the same way that working out alleviates cramps, okay? Like, it's not like there's a special property in semen that it's like, oh, cramps are gone.
It's the endorphins, right?
Yeah, exactly. Take your ass for a brisk walk. Won't be so fucking sad, Wudy. Okay.
I would say cramps. I think I had a sprained ankle at one point where I'm like, we still gonna get him.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, honestly.
Like that. Like, it's.
Like, to me, the only time that I'm not for it is anything in the stomach area. So I don't know how y'all do it, right? But if I got some gas going on, if I'm feeling like bloated or because look, sex is just using that core a lot. No matter what position you're in, it's somehow doing a form of crunches. And your boy is not built for crunches, okay? Whether it's forward or inverse or upside down, it's a fucking ab exercise. And I'm not built that way. I got a good like 2 minutes, 36 seconds of energy in me before, I got less than one round, but that is going to be a furious, 236. Okay. People's lives will have been changed in that time.
Yeah.
But it's only happening for very short. I'm basically a drag racer of the sex world, short, powerful.
Okay. But I would also say like, maybe like if you have strep, I wouldn't suggest, but that's things like that.
So just so we can actually be appropriate about it, we're not suggesting that you do anything. And obviously, if you have something that is highly contagious, like strep throat, please don't shove your tongue down someone else's tongue or throat. Or either, okay? Just if you have strep throat, just keep your ass at home, okay? Damn.
Have I ever told that story of the one time I went on a date?
You fucked somebody with strep
throat? No. First of all, let's take it back a little bit.
Okay.
We did not do the deed, but I went on a first date with this guy, and that morning, the night before, I felt sick. So that morning, I went to the urgent care, and they're like, "Oh, you got strep."
No.
So then they gave me the shot, right, the antibiotic shot, and I was good. So I was like, well, I'm feeling better now. I guess I could go on a date. That night, I told this story I remember the Quarter Life Crisis.
Yes, you definitely. We're just reliving all the hits today. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah. And like the guy was cute. So we gave a little kiss, but yeah. And then the next day he's like,
my throat really fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
you're a predator.
I thought it was better, right? They said the antibiotic hit.
You need to be put on a list. If you were a man, you'd have been put in jail for 3 years.
Oh my God.
According to Jonathan Majors, if you were black, they would have shot you for this, okay?
Ugh.
Oh, God. I don't know if I actually need to play it for this one, but just in case.
In no way reflect those of Judy
like we
herself,
can even talk over it. It's not an actual one. He actually did say some shit like that.
Really,
so,
I still don't like that guy.
Copyright 2020.
You know what made me feel good? I was listening to and just because of how I'm going to say it, I don't want to belittle this person because I actually think super highly of their opinion and they're very well articulated and they're thought out on all their stuff. I was watching his podcast and he is an African American and his views aligned with my views on that subject, especially when he was talking about how Megan Good is his Coretta or whatever. And like, he was saying stuff and I had already said it in a similar fashion. I was like, oh, that's love. You don't even know what you did right now.
Oh man, I told y'all, Jonathan Majors has some kind of civil rights kink.
Dude, no, not gonna.
Anyways,
gonna do it. I would say I'm trying to think about. Oh, you know what? When I was super horny back in the day, like, and I'm talking pre-marriage Ryan, like. Horny because I really don't feel good enough and I'm just trying to make whatever happen. So I will take, the most coyoteest of uglies and deal with it. There was one time that I met a girl and she had ended up throwing up and I still tried to make out with her.
Okay.
And honestly, I got saved by her because even she was like, bro, I just threw up. Like, that's not I'm not saying I don't want to make out with you, but like, I should probably get a mint or something first.
Yeah, like maybe rinse out my mouth.
Yeah, like can I get a bottle of water? Can you take me to a 7-Eleven so I can get a bottle of water, you fucking monster?
Damn. Yeah.
Judy, how was the weather while I was out of town?
Yo, on Sunday, our low was like 10 degrees and our high was like 25, right? And that was Sunday through Tuesday.
I told you it was going to be cold. I said that cold front's coming through. It just hit Vegas. It's on its way. But damn, I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Yes. And so, okay, this is our first official winter in our house. And our rental, honestly, we did not care about that rental. Like, we didn't think about like pipes freezing. We didn't think about opening their cabinets to let the warmth in, none of that. No. But now this time around, I was like, ooh, we actually got to care about like our pipes freeze. Like,
well, I get the pipes freezing. That makes sense. What do you mean opening your cabinets?
Yeah, so if you open like the cabinets where your sinks are, it's to keep the warmth of your house kind of circulating under there. So then your pipes don't freeze below where your sinks are, like in the bathroom, the kitchen.
So it's to keep the pipes. I thought you meant it just like made the whole house warmer. Like
no,
that's what it was like.
It's all pipes. All the pipes is what we were.
I was like, I don't really know.
Sorry.
If my cups are gonna help the circulation, but okay, you're a homeowner, so I just go with it.
I meant the cabinets like underneath sinks.
Okay.
So yeah, just to keep it warm.
See, I'm not a homeowner, so I don't know these things. Okay.
Yeah. And then we had to buy. Well, I guess we didn't have to buy covers for like our outdoor faucets. But I didn't know about these faucet covers that they have, but they're just like these little styrofoam, like square shape that kind of fits snugly over your faucet. Yes, yeah, But it's one of those like, wow, we did not do any of these things at our rental. Like, we really did not give a fuck.
Wait, how much are the styrofoam things?
They're like $2.
Okay, because in my head, I was like, if it's anything more than $5, I'm just going to the nearest supermarket and getting one of the coolers. I don't care. I'll put a full cooler on the side of a house. Like, oh, okay.
But
No.
yeah, things like that we never really thought about because like, who cares what happens to our rental? Like, it's a rental. But now I'm like, oh, we really do need to care about these things and kind of like listen to when people are like, oh, make sure you get like little drips in your faucet so you make sure the water just runs. And I'm like, yeah, all right. This is going to be like I think this is like our first round, like a first snippet of winter, because it only happened for about 2 days and it did snow a bit in here in our area. But I feel that we're going to have a colder winter front come in next month.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Damn. And it's interesting that as a renter, you would do everything you could to stop the pipe from dripping. You're just like, I just want it silent. And now as a homeowner, you're like, I got to have that drip. I need that drip, man.
Like, or else we're not gonna have water tomorrow. And like some of my coworkers' pipes froze, so they had like leaks around the house. And
so what happens? I mean, obviously the water in the pipe and everything freezes, but what actually happens when a pipe freezes?
It can burst, so then you can get water in your walls wherever your pipes are, and you kind of have to either get a plumber to kind of get through it and seal it. But when that does happen, you have to turn off your water. And I go, Keith, where's our main water? He's like, it's usually in front of the house. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's there.
At least one of you knew. At least one of you knew. Do you know where the circuit breaker is, Judy?
Yes, we do. It's in the garage.
No, not we. I know Keith knows, okay? Don't we, us.
Yes, I do know. Thank you. It's in the garage.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do if there's an apocalypse and you have to find out, where the water main is, okay? And Keith's not there. What are you going to do, okay? Gosh.
Thank God I know now.
Oh.
Look, man, I'm saying, I don't think I would want to be surviving an apocalypse.
No,
like that.
No.
I don't, I honestly, I watched I recently watched, on Netflix, I watched, oh God, I don't know the title. But it's the most recent one with.
Honestly, I brought up the apocalypse thing on accident, and I don't want you to go on a whole tangent.
Oh, sorry.
No, and it's not. Don't apologize, because our show, like, if it wasn't called A Conversation with Sad, Wudy, and Ryan, it would be called Tangent, right? Because that's what we do. Yeah. The only reason I'm stopping you is just because we got to talk sports. We have so much sports to talk about. And I don't want to not have time for that because I set us off on a stupid tangent, right?
Yeah.
So I know you loved it last week. You know how much I loved it. We got that cool sounder from the boys over at the mothership on the eastern side of the country. Some might say it's where the Yukon teams play. But anyway. They helped us out. They got us a cool sounder for whenever we talk about sports. Oh man, I cannot talk about how much I love this thing. So amazing. Thank you guys so much. I can't name them because they just gave me some free stuff. Like, they just helped me out of the goodness of their heart. So, they can't let that out there. But here we go. It's time for sports. No. Sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
Judy, do you want to start on things, or do you want me to start and you jump in? Like, I know that last weekend was very traumatic.
It's a very traumatic time for me, yes.
So however you want to take care of this moment in your life.
Yes, okay, I would like to go first.
Okay. You just like, yes, I've been waiting. Okay.
Yes, I have been waiting. It's been a long 6 days.
Good
5,
Lord.
whatever. So yes, we were very excited, me and Keith were very excited that the Cowboys made the playoffs, and we had a home game. We hadn't lost at home since 2022.
Looked real good at home, too.
We looked real good, scoring 40 points on people. It was exciting times. And then we come into this game on Sunday, right? The Packers just came in and were like, bend over, Cowboys. We here. Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say, because that was not a good game for us. And
it was not.
I mean, look, it just looked like, okay, I get Dak kind of got his act together somewhat, right? First half was terrible. Second half, maybe a little bit. It was a little too late at that point, but the defense was just terrible. And I feel that it was one of those games that Dan Quinn showed up, but I feel like he already got a new job. And, he's like, I'm just going to show up.
The game
he was kind of out the door.
And I don't want to say this because from every report I'm reading, he's going to be my next coach. But it did seem like he had spent the previous days game planning for his interviews rather than for the Packers.
Yeah. Yep,
now, what I will say, real quick, is that it did seem like they were using now you get paid millions of dollars. You should be able to navigate this somewhat during the game. But it did seem like they were using a type of like drag corner hybrid of a route that's almost custom made to defeat the traditional Dan Quinn style of zone coverage defense. Mm-hmm. So, like, and I say that as someone, because he comes from the Pete Carroll tree, and for a decade, anytime I see a tight end go up into the slot and they go on a go route, I know that there's a pretty good chance that they're going to be wide open. It's a flaw of that style of defense that only can be covered up by someone that we had for, a bunch of years in Earl Thomas, because he was so fast going from side of the field. So I will say that it seemed like Matt LaFleur cooked up something specifically dialed up to beat that kind of scheme. But from what I also heard, you guys had done like 90% man coverage on defense or something like that over the year.
I think that's what I heard too.
So that does, yeah. So, I mean, regardless of whether he did that specifically to beat that zone scheme, like you switch it to man, it should have worked, but I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, okay, so I knew that game. I knew that game was not going to go the way we expected it. On the Packers' first drive, it was like 3rd and long, and the Cowboys stopped, right? They stopped it. They're like, cool, they stopped the first down. What do you know? There's a flag. For one of my defensive players doing something so dumb. Get called for it, let the Packers just run down, score a touchdown. From that moment, I knew. I was like, this game's not going to go the way it's going to go. Like, we're not good. I don't know if that's just like the pessimist in me, or if that's how like the Cowboys kind of like got my mentals in, because I'm like,
I think it's a combination of everything, right? Because this is who this team is. Like, they have been since their glory days of 28 years ago or whatever. This is the team that they have been, in which if they get punched in the mouth, especially in the playoffs, which they always do, they have an issue, right? And maybe it is that they just, don't know how, they can't play in the playoffs or whatever, and that's why they get punched in the mouth. But regardless, I love the game. I loved it so much not from a Judy's team is losing perspective, but I loved it for the lore of the show. The Cowboy Dynasty family of Dallas, or whatever we're calling this, was so on complete, like it was on a complete pedestal for what we were watching, right? This was the perfect divorce game. Okay? That's what this was.
Yes,
like,
you would think.
This was finally the game where like Dak all season has been trying to hold it together, but the pressure of everything finally gets to him, right? Mm-hmm. So he's been your perfect child all year, and now he's blowing up. And because he's blowing up so badly, your problem child, CD, is like, nah, figure this out, older brother. You need to get me the ball, right? And the whole time, Second Marriage Mike is just freaking out on the sidelines like, this is it. It's over. I don't know what to do. It was a good run. I don't know if I can be Third Marriage Mike, but And Jerry is just up in his boot, just like, call Belichick, call Harbaugh. I don't care. God, I can't even hire goddamn Gardner Dan because his defense is playing so bad right now. Get me a goddamn new marriage mate. Right? Mm-hmm. But then, I don't know what happened. Like, if Dak went to Jerry after the game and said, no, don't break our family up, please. Or what happened, because the fact that you're bringing McCarthy back. And here's the other thing. It's not just that you're bringing McCarthy back, is that you have also already stated that if he does not accept a head coaching job, you will bring back Gardner Dan. So, and this is not my take, but it is kind of true at this point. I heard it on First Things First earlier today. The Cowboys are not a Super Bowl or bust team. You guys do not get to say that you are anymore, because not only did you not make the Super Bowl, you busted as hard as you could. All of the pins lined up for you. You were at home. You got to play a much weaker team. You were healthy. Everything. And you got smacked in the mouth. And don't get me wrong, I understand Jordan Love is he's playing great. You know, the Packers have basically started their next generation of Hall of Fame quarterback, essentially. But still, you guys, this is the game you are supposed to win. You know what I love? Is that, and I get it's not a 1-for-1, because at the time, Romo was also dealing with all those collarbone issues.
Yeah.
But you guys got rid of Romo because Dak won a playoff game, and y'all haven't been able to win a playoff game since. You're like, wow, get the fuck out of here, Romo. We got our guy. You can leave now. And then just sits there like, nah, same old Cowboys.
Yep. And honestly, Jerry bringing back Mike McCarthy did not surprise me. Only because he kept bringing back Jason Garrett. Let's not forget.
Right. No, I get that.
Year after year. But he brought it back after going 4-12.
No, I get that.
Forget.
But there was a difference with Jason Garrett than there was Mike McCarthy, because Jason was Jerry's as close to a son as he could have from that perspective, right? Because remember, Jerry liked Jason so much that when he was just the offensive coordinator, he paid him more money than his, at the time, head coach, so that he wouldn't go be a head coach anywhere else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where he then had to go and pay his head coach something, I don't know, something like $1 more or whatever, but just so he could be like, I still get paid the most, I'm in charge until Jerry fires me and gives you my job, right? So that's what I'm saying. He always had, for lack of a better term, a hard-on for Jason Garrett. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, in my opinion, he had that tenure of 10 years, because Jerry genuinely, in my opinion, thought of him as his kid, you know? Like, he thought him as one of his family, and that's why it was really painful for him to let him go. And then what did Jason do? That son of a bitch. He went right to New York. He's like, "Fuck you, Dad. I'm going to the enemy."
I love that you turned this into like a family like a family reality show, right?
It's Dallas, both in show and in sport.
Yeah, it's true.
But that was honestly just the fact that Jerry keeps saying, I don't have many years left. I need to win a Super Bowl before I go. Like, it's stuff like that. And once again, something else I heard earlier today from Mina Kimes, it'd be one thing if this was just a general year of coaching, right? Where there's the regular candidates and like, you know, going into the offseason, Dan Quinn was basically thought, other than Ben Johnson, Dan Quinn was thought to be like the number one prospect of who you were going to get as a coach, right? Since then, we have had Bill Belichick become available, John Harbaugh become available. I mean, you could kick the tires on Nick Saban now, which you couldn't do before. Like you say, hey, coach, you're out of Alabama. There are all these people, and because you're hearing the same thing with Sirianni in Philadelphia because of the way that they shit the bed the last 7 weeks of the season. Where it'd be one thing if it was just, where Dan Quinn or Frank Reich are your best coaching candidates, right? But this is not that. This is a year in which you have the greatest coach in modern football history, if not of all time, in Bill Belichick. You have a coach that has a proven track record in the pros of getting a team to a Super Bowl, on top of having a proven track record of just being a good coach by getting Michigan to win a national championship. Ben Johnson has been everybody's, love child of who they want to get as a coach for 2 years now. So you have all these prospects. So for you to just be like, we're gonna stick with second marriage Mike and just go with it. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Dak had to go and be like, Dad, come on. Don't do this. We can be a family still. Okay? We got one more shot. And then what's gonna what's gonna suck is that you guys are going, and I'm not, this is what the law of averages has said about your division. You guys are going to lose the NFC East next year. And he's going to get fired on a year that he can't even say, hey, it's not my fault. I took the team to the playoffs. Like, I did everything I could. No, you're now going to be the guy who got fired after not making the playoffs in a Super Bowl or bust team. Because that's all we are in Dallas. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
There were other games that were played.
There were other games that were played.
The Eagles got busted in the mouth by Tampa Bay.
Thank God.
Baker really, I've never really been a Baker Mayfield guy. I always was like, why is he getting drafted number 1 overall? He's got a decent arm. He's got an NFL caliber arm. He's got decent athleticism. He's an average speed white guy quarterback. And to that, I mean, white quarterbacks are athletic and they're fast, right? They ain't Lamar Jackson. They ain't Tyrod Taylor. I'm not, okay? We're saying average white guys, okay? We're not talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen is not average in any way, shape, or form. That dude is built of horse meat, okay? He's built out of it. Calm it down. Calm it down, Jude. You get a little moist over there, okay?
A little bit.
A
little bit. We do love us some Josh Allen over here.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just a normal dude. But seeing what he did in that game, he is a professional ass quarterback and he can do what he is asked to do on the field, and that good for him, especially after the way it ended in Cleveland and the shit show that turned into Carolina. Good for him. Yeah. The Dolphins did exactly what every single person who would watch football knew that the Dolphins were going to do. They went and they got frozen out by. Did you see Andy Reid's mustache?
No, I didn't watch the game.
God, it was because it was so cold. Because it was minus 20 with the wind chill or something like that.
Yep.
He had icicles growing on his mustache, right? So it was because he had the laminated sheet So the heat of his breath would reflect basically off of his laminated sheet and go onto his mustache. And he had full on, like, go take a look at a picture of it after we get off. Full on icicles in his beard. Looked like Father Christmas. The Bills game got postponed to Monday afternoon because of a snowstorm, so I didn't see that, but I heard Josh Allen played well.
Yes, I have a bone to pick about that.
Okay.
Because I feel that they've seen worse snowstorms come through. And I don't know why they had to postpone it. Like, I don't know if it was like that bad. Like, I feel like being in Buffalo.
Did you see the pictures?
But what makes that different from the other like games that we've seen where they're playing in like hard snowstorms?
So the difference is playing in it as it's happening or it happening before you can play. So I'm going to try and not sound like an asshole when I say this, Judy. I'm sorry. But the governor declared a state of emergency and shut down the city essentially, right? So you got to think of it like this, though. From a Buffalo Bills perspective, if it's not safe for people to get to the game, then it shouldn't be safe for the players to go to the game. So it shouldn't be safe to have the game.
But weren't they having volunteers shove up the snow the day it was canceled?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because the roads were still packed full of snow just because they were shoveling out the stadium itself. Like, the whole city was covered in snow. It wasn't just like a fucking cloud over the stadium and only the stadium.
I don't know.
And Josh Allen is like, why? Why, God? I just wanted to play in the snow and you won't let me. No, it was the whole city of Buffalo.
I don't know. I'm sure it was worse than like I was thinking.
For just the stadium.
Look, I don't know.
Oh,
also,
God.
I just wanted to circle back on the Chiefs game. I saw that they had to put like the drinks in the refrigerators to keep them there from freezing outside.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
Crazy. That's wild to me.
Judy, we're running low on time. You did say that there was somebody whose face annoyed you in the sports world, and I just want to talk to you about that real quick.
Yes, we've already mentioned him. Good old dad. Faces that annoy me this week is Jerry Jones, the fucking crypt keeper that he is. All right, he looks like he could just like fall over and just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, bro.
He's like really, really old. I don't know what you want him to do.
God, I swear, like one morning, I hope he just kind of like chokes on.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No.
The thoughts, opinions, and expressions of Clownboy Ryan in no way reflect those of Judy herself, the A Conversation with Judy and Ryan podcast,
you can't
or
talk
parent
about
company
having
Take a Breath
people just be
Productions.
unalive.
All rights
Look at
reserved.
poor Jim
Copyright
Irsay.
2020.
He's fighting for his life with his blue ass right now, and you're just over here wishing unalives on owners. These white men of privilege have not had it hard, or have had it so hard, and here you are just being like, whatever, I don't care. Get them out, on with the next one. Man. By the way, speaking of white men of privilege that have annoying faces, Tom Brady, I know we talked about him before, but I realize what it is too. It's not just the butt chin. He's got he's one of those people that if you photograph him, he looks gorgeous. But if you see him in video, he looks petrifying. Like, I saw him smiling in a video and like he just has his teeth. But like the way that I'm doing it in the camera right now is still not creepy enough from what I saw.
Yeah.
Like, he somehow had a shadow on his teeth from his lips, but his mouth was still like, I don't know. Like I said, the man, he could take a gorgeous photo, catch him on some video, and you're like, whoa, Giselle married that.
Yeah, like, so he does a podcast, like every other freaking person out there that does a podcast. But I saw his videos.
I don't know what you're talking
TikTok.
about. Do you know someone that does a podcast that releases every Tuesday at 9 a.m., 5 a.m. audio listeners? At TABPOD.
Also on YouTube, I didn't realize that you actually have to have the @. Like I didn't realize @TABPOD was the name of our YouTube. Like that's our username. It's not like on Twitter or Twix, sorry, that it's, you know what I mean? Yeah,
no, it's like our username is @TABPOD, almost like I've been saying it for 2 years now or something. I don't know. Our username is that, and then the name of the channel is Take a Breath. YouTube is weird on how they're trying to be everything and nothing at the same time. So all I know, we got no time left. I do want to say quick, we got our 38th subscriber on YouTube today.
Woo!
And every single solitary one of you that has subscribed to any of our platforms, thank you so much. It may not seem like much to you, but I swear to God, I screenshot when we got 38 today, because we've been stuck at 37 for like a month and a half. So when I got 38 today, I screenshotted it and I sent it to Judy and our EP, just full of excitement. So thank you guys so much. You guys give me specifically, and I'm sure Judy feels the same way, the energy to keep doing this week in and week out, on top of the fact that it's fun as fuck. But the fact that you guys show me that you like it too makes me want to do it all the more. So thank you again and appreciate you. Also, 4 stars? You'll fucking like me with 4 stars? You give me 5 stars on the audio podcast. 5. Uno, dos, cinco, mother... gotta. Okay, so that's it for a conversation with Judy and Ryan. You heard the gong. So we gotta go. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week right here on A Conversation with Sad Wudy and Ryan. Bye. Bye.